Morning, everyone. Welcome. It is July 15th, 2024. I'm Adam Blue, and this is the Blue Gamer Bluecast morning show. Every morning, I like to dive into the latest video game news. What I've been getting into, because there's been a lot of neat things. Sonic and Knuckles jams. Yep, that's right. That is right. That for some reason, that music is always positive. It's action. It's fun. It gets me going. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm tired. I had quite the weekend. And it's a Monday. Probably one of the worst days ever, but I try to make it good by talking about video games first thing after, I do some other stuff. But yeah, let's get into it. I am going to share a screen here. Should have had it shared already. Okay. All right. So looking at this exophase.com that I use to track all my gameplay just so I can discuss what I've been getting into. Let's start at the bottom. Let's see. Yeah, I played some more Arkham Knight, having fun with that using the Batman 89 skin. It's just crazy that they also have the Pattinson skin in there. Like they were always adding the skins even post-launch. It's crazy considering, what they're doing with Suicide Squad and that, but we'll get to that in a second. I didn't play Legend of Zelda: The Phantom Hourglass. I was actually demonstrating uh, my brother came to hang out. I was demonstrating my custom DS, showing that off. Okay, he recommended that I play Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and it's actually gonna be free, I think, starting tomorrow on Prime Day, Amazon Prime Day. But he already had it in his Steam account, so I went ahead and tried it out, because of this family sharing, which is pretty cool. And the gameplay and combat in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is really good. It's top tier. It is top tier combat mechanics. I haven't played, too much through it yet. Pretty much each character in the opening, um, yeah, we'll see once the gameplay gets going because there's some times, and I felt this with the first Descendant, where and Once Human, which I'll get into shortly, where the combat feels good, but then what do you do with that exactly? So I'm real curious as I play Suicide Squad more if I'm gonna be like, wow, this game's fun. I gotta play through it all and beat it, or if I'm gonna be like, okay, well, I see what they're doing here, and this is cool, but it being a live service game, the structure of it is not for me. So we'll see because again, combat traversal, awesome, top tier, top tier. Um, hey, morning, Rogue New Type, Jam Kill X, good to see you all. Okay, and then Minecraft, it was something I was helping my son with, so it loaded me in. Um, okay, but you know what? It's funny that Once Human does not show up here. Even though I played that through Steam. Very interesting. Maybe we'll get to that here in a second. But Wanted Dead, another one my brother suggested I play. And I remember this came out last year, and I was like, game's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna get it as soon as it comes out. And then the reviews came out, and the reviews were bad. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna bother with this. And then my brother's like, you need to play it. So yeah, I played it and I liked it so much I bought a copy. Wanted Dead is a great game. Like, and it's not it's very easy to say sometimes, oh, it feels like a old school, like 360 action game. And I guess that could be the case. But what it really is it's just a straight up action game that's not wasting its time with anything else. And I mean, I guess that could be debated because there's some strange mini games that happen between missions. There's like a game where you eat food, but it's time based with like the dance games, and there's karaoke, and so the button prompts come by, and you have to press them, and that kind of builds I guess, the camaraderie with the rest of your team, which I don't think this game necessarily needs that, but it's just interesting it's there. This game has a lot of like um, production value that really build the world out, and even the combat's great. I would say that sometimes it's not too clear exactly how you should do things, and a lot of the main flow of combat are moves that are locked behind the skill tree. But luckily, you can easily breeze through that skill tree very early on. I'm 2 hours and 21 minutes into the game, and I'm probably halfway maybe through the skill tree. I got some cool skills that really help an awesome flow of combat. It's a lot of melee with a katana, and then every once in a while, quickly shooting with your pistol to kind of cause a stagger or stun, so then you can continue your combo. It's actually really well done, and you'll be surrounded by so many enemies, and you're going as quick as you can, cutting them up, and it's it's wild. This is a really fun game. I suggest anyone play it. It's too bad that it got uh, the word of mouth that it did when it came out, because yeah, again, I skipped this mainly because of the reviews, and this happens a lot. I have to try to figure out another little um the thing I watch out for to know, like, okay, yeah, the reviews are bad, but I'm sure this aspect will, and I think it really comes down to the gameplay. Like with the gameplay in this game, I could see where people would be turned off. It's very fast paced combat, and you can die easily if you're not careful. It's nothing like a Souls game, but um it's different, it's neat. Yeah, this game deserves uh more people to play it. So yeah, hopefully that will happen. Okay, and the other game I played that for some reason isn't showing up on here, and let me see if I can share a window with you. Let's see. And bam. Okay. So, yeah, Wanted Dead, lossless scaling. This is an app my brother told me about. Um, I don't think I have been able to properly utilize it. I don't think I can yet. Well, it depends on the game, I should say. The games I've been playing don't really require it. So basically, what this allows is kind of like it says the lossless scaling. It allows you, like, let's say you have your frames at 60. This will double the frames and kind of smooth it. But it also depends on the refresh rate of your monitor, I realized, because since my refresh rate is 144, and it's like really hard depending on what frames I choose, like in game, for then it to double, and it has to meet the refresh rate. So far, it hasn't really been that helpful for me for any games that I need to go at 144 frames. They usually can. I don't really have any issue with performance. But as I maybe come across a game that has some performance issues, or I'm wanting it to be super smooth, uh, this app is pretty neat because you launch it, you then launch the game you want, and then you go and click start on the lossless, depending on how you have it configured, and then you click into the game, and it applies it. When I applied it to Suicide Squad, there was some frame pacing issues I noticed as I was playing, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, why would there be that pacing issue?" And it was because of this again, because of the 144 hertz versus blah blah blah. But anyway, this is a cool app. You got to buy it. I think it's $6, but it's super helpful if there's other games that you want to be able to get, or some games that maybe are locked at 30 or locked at 16. You want at 120, but you might have to. And again, I have to look into this more. You might have to then adjust your refresh rate to match it. So we'll see. Um, okay, that is that. Let's go back to this. Um, oh, actually, no, I wanted to do something here. So, Once Human. This is a game that I was playing. Let's see, I've played 117 minutes, almost 2 hours. Surprised it's not showing on that exo phase. Um, but the main thing with this is it's a good mashup of a lot of fun things. At no point playing it did I feel like I was playing some sort of um, games as a service game, which I don't even think. I think it is, but it does a good job of not really kind of demonstrating that. So when I'm playing, I am so busy with a couple aspects. I would say it's Minecraft and Division put together. So Division, awesome third person combat, open world, where things have been going on, that type of thing. But yeah, think of Division, but you could go around a corner and start building a camp. And by a camp, it's like a little home base that you can put walls on until you build a freaking house. I mean, because it has that level of building. And then where I'm at in my game, there's people all around me that have built their bases. And then what you do is you go out and go on hunts or whatever and take out weird. There's a lot of blends of genres and games in here. It's really hard to say. It's sci-fi alien stuff, but even then, it's pretty crazy. But like you would go and if you're not out like looking for loot, fighting enemies, you might be near your base and resource gathering, which is actually this is where this game does a good job of that. One, at any point in the game, you could pull up your map and teleport home. I mean, I guess there's like a refresh to it, so you can't just do it all the time, but it's very handy. Typically, if I'm going to be out doing stuff, and it's like, okay, it's time to get back. Do I want to get back and resource gather along the way, or do I just want to teleport back? And then you can. And then when you're resource gathering, it's just a matter of going up to whatever that resource is, and you just, it tells you to press F or whatever, and it automatically takes out the tool and starts chopping at it, and it's in a few seconds. So it's like a quicker method of resource gathering than we're used to, like in Minecraft. But it's done in that way on purpose to accelerate that part of the game because you can get to crafting and building easily. Like in my base, I kind of have walls up around it, and I have enough different workbenches to where I can, break down certain ores and have certain metals so I could build certain things like ammo and all that. So what's interesting about this game is it's fast-paced Minecraft elements. The building is fast. And then the combat system is like the Division. I mean, and it even has a good melee system too. I was surprised where you can run up and jump at enemies and then combo up and take them down. So this is a good game. This is a good game. It's just curious how long it will last. In fact, though, I then what was yeah, I think once I got my hands on Wanted, I then spent the rest of my gaming time playing Wanted and not Once Human. But anyway, Wanted Dead, Suicide Squad, Once Human. Check them out if you haven't. They're pretty cool. And then yeah, as I get the news up, the other thing, let me share this. I was also playing the One Up Arcade a lot more. It's a lot of fun to just go up to the arcade, go play some Street Fighter online against some other people. And yes, I usually get my ass handed to me pretty easily. I thought I was good at Street Fighter to some degree, but I'm sure if someone owns a arcade one up cabinet of Street Fighter and they're playing online, they're probably super into Street Fighter. Um, but it is actually fun to do that and see the leaderboards. You can see where you're ranked, and then just playing just the other games with family is fun. Super Puzzle Fighter is really fun. The tennis game that's in the Capcom Sports is really fun. Yeah, that Yoga Flame cabinet was probably for me the best idea because it has a variety of games, and I think the largest library of games out of all of them. All right, well let's look at some news. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Okay. Actually, you know what? I had some other stuff we can look at real quick before I jump into that. Supposed Bioshock 4 screenshot confirms that yes, it is a video game. I don't know what that means. I don't know about you, but this has certainly caught all of us off guard. Uh, you're not going to believe this. An apparent screenshot from the Bioshock game that's currently in the works is leaked online, and assuming it's genuine, it tells us one thing we've all been hoping to learn about the title: that it's a video game. I don't understand. I guess they're just kind of being cheeky with that, but apparently, yeah, just some information came out about the new Bioshock game, and I guess I've got a screen grab for it. Um, huh? Maybe that could be potentially my thumbnail. We'll see. I'm not too excited about it. I guess I am interested because it's been so long. It's going to be kind of a different team because we won't have Ken Levine sort of heading this one. So it could be a very interesting take. We'll see. Um uh, okay, what was this? Halo leaker on the future of 343 and Halo. The state of 343 industry structure and headcount, impact on Halo Infinite, new production method. Okay, so let's see. So they started losing people in 2023, 2024. Some roles transferred to the Xbox team instead of internally. That the 343 was mainly relying on contractors. Interesting. Yeah, that's a lot. I didn't really read all this beforehand, but that's a lot of information. And again, who knows if a lot of this is accurate? Um, so someone saying basically 343 experienced a ton of layoffs and a bunch of people left or got absorbed into Microsoft proper. So even though they've identified using contract work as a major problem for Halo Infinite, they are probably going to do it again. Employees felt 343 is not the home of Halo they were sold on it being. Post-release content was not cut due to existing contracts, but game did not do well enough to justify more of it. Wow. But it's just one of those things that seemed that was happening within Microsoft. If they really didn't have like a strong game leader there, Microsoft wasn't enforcing any sort of oversight, so games could just kind of fall flat. And when we've seen that multiple times, like as soon as oh man, what's his name? Shinji Mikami left. I keep on wanting to say Grasshopper, but it's not that. You know, the guys that made that Hi-Fi Rush. As soon as the leader was gone from that team, Microsoft was like, "Well, we'll just let them go." And the reason being that like you do need a good leader to push a team forward. Without that lead, everyone's just kind of like, and then Halo Infinite happens. So, Tango Gameworks, thank you, Jim Killex. Thank you. Another save. Okay. What is the other thing? No, we can get into news now. Let me okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know about the news though. Crash Bandicoot artist claims a fifth game was canceled. And yeah, something that came out recently, as well as a Project Dragon or something where people thought that might be Spyro, but it wasn't. Okay, Concord's beta weekend has been extended, so very interesting that Concord, did they have the beta this weekend? I think my brother had brought that up, but you know what? I haven't heard anyone talk about it online, unless I'm just not looking in the right places. But I haven't heard much about this. Okay, let's see. And then an open beta will be from July 18th, so maybe more people will talk about it then. I'm just curious to see, like, will I just be playing another Suicide Squad, or is there something unique to Concord? Terraria has sold over 58 million copies to date. Wow. Good on them. That's cool. I've played it a bunch in the past, but not substantially. The first Descendant hits 10 million players. That could be good. Yeah, that's yeah, alongside Once Human, it's interesting. These two kind of games as a service, free to play games came out, but while First Descendant is good, Once Human does more interesting things and isn't blatantly a live service game or games as a service. All right. Yeah, so this was a bigger deal, I guess, that happened where some of this information we've been talking about came from. So Disney reportedly victim to a 1 terabyte data breach. I mean, to be honest, 1 terabyte is not a lot. That sounds like it was maybe someone that just happened to have a bunch of concept art or something, and maybe they were overlooking on a hard drive or something. Because I guess because what I'm trying to get at, it's more like someone was trying to hack Disney or came across a situation where they could then get a terabyte of data. But if hackers are attempting something, 1 terabyte of data being the outcome is so insignificant that, like, yeah, I'm wondering. Because I'm in the cybersecurity realm, and I haven't. That's the thing. I haven't heard much about this. That's why I'm saying it might be insignificant. But I wonder if more news will come out. I wonder how much of it is maybe Disney not. Oh, no, it's from an internal Slack. See, a third-party program. Wow, and so it wasn't even really from Disney. If you see what I'm saying here, it was like when you have other programs accessing information from other sources or locations or whatever, there's always that risk, and so you have to have security there. So this is probably someone was sharing images on Slack like one does on Discord or Teams, and then that data was probably extracted. So. And there might be more to it because they only have to make certain things public in a certain amount of time. So there could be more to it, but yeah, we'll see. Okay. Global gaming revenue to reach 300 billion in the next 3 years. So gaming is still shown to be growing, despite what it sounds like. But I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing people trying to take advantage of growth, and you can't just always take advantage of growth. Ubisoft has anime skins lined up for X Defiant. So that's interesting. So does that mean it's going outside of Ubisoft stuff, or is it going to take Ubisoft characters and give them an anime overlook? Like, did as an Assassin's Creed show get an anime version or something? And maybe they could do that. Let's see. Oh, Project Dragon. That was the thing I was talking about. Interesting, but yeah, you never know. Like if a game is really not that interesting, and a company wants to cancel it, it's going to happen. And sometimes it's like, Like, it reminds me of the Disney Mandalorian game that they canceled, and it's like, if it was really good, they would probably release it, but there had to have been something about it that they're like, "This really isn't that great." So that's neat. Aliens Fireteam Elite 2 details allegedly leak online, and this might be related to that Disney thing I was talking about. And this is more of concept art for a pitch, or pitch in general was leaked, not like that the game is actually being made. That first Fireteam Elite, I beat it, but it was good, but it was held back by being very bare bones. It was just 3 people going through corridors fighting aliens, and that seems awesome, and I love aliens, but I got tired of it really fast, and I think some games do it better. Helldivers 2 to an extent. You could even scale back what Helldivers 2 is doing, making it more of a closed, scarier approach, and it would work. And that's part of it. Like, a lot of the levels in Aliens Fireteam, it's very corridor. Okay, now here's a place to fight. Corridor, now here's a place to fight. Whereas Helldivers, it has closed areas, but it's very open. And I think that's what Aliens needs to do. These games need to do that, is have more open uh things for it. I don't know. It's a mix of the game. Fireteam Elite is kind of closed off, and it feels limiting. It's like you don't really feel like you have time to carefully explore. It rushes you so much where it even pulls back some of the fear, the scariness of the game, of like that isolation of like, oh my god, hearing the aliens coming, because it's so action packed. It was almost there. This game is almost there. So let's see what else. Yeah, we saw that. For a second, I was like, that looks like some AI generated alien, but that's just a lot of detail. Okay. I don't know what that is. Some esports stuff. Not really into that. Although, which esports make the most money? That seems interesting. Let's see what they say. From first-person shooter genre to the biggest and best MOBA titles in the world, which esports game pays the most? StarCraft 2, 41 million, but I guess, is that like divided amongst like everything? I don't know. Then it gets down to Dota. So Dota is still 40 million prize pool. Wow. So Dota is still Dota 2 is Counter-Strike, Fortnite, League of Legends, Arena of Valor, Honor of Kings. I want to say it sounds familiar, but that's probably the least familiar I am with all of these. Is PUBG? Oh, because PUBG Mobile. Wow, alongside PUBG. Good for them. That's like 2 games. Call of Duty, Rainbow Six. Okay, so these are kind of, the main things we would expect to be there. But at the same time, I kind of, I should share this. But at the same time, I kind of don't care. I kind of don't care, but it's just interesting when games are made in that way, Um, all right, so more of that hack. I guess it came from Slack. So, in my opinion, that means like whoever is the representative of Slack for Disney, and whoever their IT person at Disney that would be in charge of securing third party, it's between them. They effed it up. Okay, what are the Dungeon-born system requirements? That sounds good. Dungeon-born. I'm not too familiar with that. Let's see. Yeah, we're getting near the wow, a lot of things about Dungeon-born. Either this is like press stuff going out Monday. It's an extraction shooter, but like Elder Scrolls. Okay. Interesting. We'll see how that goes. My God, there's so many articles about this game. How much will it cost? I don't know. Let's talk about my past first. um, let's see. Olympics agrees 12-year deal with Saudi Arabia for esports games. Wow, the esports thing. I don't know. Maybe there's something there to that. I don't know. It's like a different world for me. Ubisoft is actively working on Driver franchise projects. That's actually pretty cool. I loved the Driver games are cool, but Driver 3 for me did so much, especially, and that was back on the Xbox and I think PS2, but like it even had this like movie mode where there would be these random cameras, as you're playing in certain areas, and it just looked really cool. And then I remember he had like this badass Nokia phone that just came out, and I happened to have it. I just felt like I was the coolest guy. It's a fun game. That series is pretty fun. Oh yeah, a good way to end this off is there's a new update to the PCSX2, and I've read things about it being like 1-to-1 with PS2 hardware. That's pretty amazing. So let's see. Yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, not too much crazy stuff, but kind of wanted to talk about Wanted. That game is great, and Suicide Squad, it's fun, but will what will really grab my time? And once I beat one, will I just then move on to the other games coming out? I think there's some fun games coming out this week. There's a Ninja Turtles co-op beat 'em up coming out on Switch, which I'm gonna grab that. So anyway, that's about it. But thanks all for watching, and until next time, be cool. See y'all later.